On this tutorial, we're going to show you how to use our pop-up templates like this. They are brass, so they're heavy duty, to make a pop-up greeting card like you see here. And hopefully you can see how that opens up as you open the card. This particular sample we've enhanced with some of our peel-off outline stickers. The butterfly was attached to a special paper, and then we just attached it with foam in the middle so that we could have the wings lift up. And then also on the front we did the same thing. Now if you want to learn how to do that part with the stickers, we have other tutorials that address those. We currently have about 30 pop-up templates available. Some of them are multi-purpose. For instance, the Mother's Day, Father's Day template has Father's Day on the bottom, turn it over, has Mother's Day on the bottom. These are intended to be used in conjunction with the templates that have happy on them, like Happy Birthday. So you would cut the happy down to this corner and to this corner. You'd lift it back up and place this template, whether you wanted Father's Day on the bottom or Mother's Day, place it appropriately. Line up these points with these points that were already cut on your paper, and you'll end up with Happy Father's Day or Happy Mother's Day, whichever you want. But there's currently about 30 templates available. We recommend, when you're first starting out, to start out with one of the easier ones like Hello. That's the one we're going to do today. Primarily because you're using straight lines. Now if you haven't already done so, please review our video on basic cutting tips, because there's a special knife blade that we want you to use. Do not ever use this one. That's the most common blade you'll find when you go out and buy a craft knife, and it's the most difficult to use for doing detailed cutting such as what we're going to be doing with these templates. Please use a number 16 blade. It looks like this. Has a flatter angle on it. But review our previous basic cutting tutorials to learn that part of it. Now when you're first starting out making your card, you'll need two layers. You'll need an outside layer and an inside layer of paper. Pick whatever you want to use. I like to take the inside layer, which is our purple one here, and cut it slightly smaller so that when we get done and we attach it, you'll have a little bit of a border around the outside of your card. Take that piece that's going to be the inside layer, fold it. If this is going to be the inside, then we want to fold it the other way. So we'll just fold it in half, use a roller to make your creases. I don't like to use bone folders, they put burn marks on my paper. Rollers don't do that. Open it back up so you have a mountain fold, and if you have a swivel clip like we are showing here, just clip it underneath that. Then, if you'll notice, on all of our templates, all of our pop-up templates, there's a notch on each side of the template. Those notches go right down the center of that template. So if we take that and we line it up on our paper and take a good quality removable tape to hold that template in place, put a piece on the top, line up those notches on the fold, now as I said before, be sure you review your cutting basics video before going any further. When you're cutting with a pop-up template, or any kind of a template where you're actually cutting pieces out, you always want to start in the corners of your openings that you're going to be cutting out. Let's say, for instance, we're going to cut this piece right here. I'm going to start at one corner and cut one direction, and then I'm going to turn my work around, go to the other corner and cut back. So watch real close while I do that. I'm going to start at this corner. I'm holding my knife upright. I cut a little over halfway, and then I'm going to turn it around, go to the other corner, and cut back, so that you're always cutting from the corners out. Now if you notice here, I'm doing a lot of turning, but I'm going to give you a tip here in a second that will help you not do as much as I'm doing here. Now I want you to start with something simple like that, complete all the cuts, and make sure that it comes out. It should come out just like this. You shouldn't have to have any pieces in the corners that you haven't cut. If you cut from the corners out, that piece will come out very easily like that. Now, after you've gotten the hang of the cutting, what I'd recommend you do is just position your template in a position, let's say like this, and do all of your down cuts. Every one of your down cuts. So all I'm doing is I'm starting in the corners of any corner that's up at the top, and I'm making my down cuts. We'll do that all the way around the template. I'm going to give you a tip too on this, the curve of the O. We'll do that after I've done the rest of the cuts here. But you see how I'm always starting at the corners and cutting down. And when you're cutting, you're using the template as the guide, so let the blade glide next to the template. You're not trying to make a cut free-handed right next to the template. You're actually cutting, you're pulling the knife, and you're also pushing it sideways so that the template is actually doing the guiding for you. So you can see how when I'm making that last cut, if you've made all your cuts properly, you should be able to just kind of flick your knife and those pieces will just fly right out of the opening. If they don't, like see there's one I didn't finish purposely, that piece right there wasn't cut, so now it's comes out nice and easily. Now on something like the O where you have the curve, each curve is going to be a little bit different, and after you've done a little bit of cutting you'll get the hang of this. But what I'd like you to do for this particular O is start in the middle, pull your knife down, and when you get to the curve just kind of rotate it slightly in your fingers, go back to the middle, down, rotate a little bit in your fingers, and see how that's cut. Now if we go back to the other side, come down from the middle, around, do that again, and now the piece is all cut. For the end slits like this, and over here if we were doing the butterfly, you're not cutting anything out there, you're just making a slit. And that's just to free up the last letter. Now we do need to cut it on this side of the H so that the word will completely pop up. So we're not going to do the butterfly today, but we've done all of the letters. So now we'll take our template off.